Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Tonight, something unexpected has shaken the Chinese entertainment world. And it all began with a quiet, powerful voice saying just two words. That's enough. Not shouted. Not dramatic. Just firm and unmistakably final. And when those words come from Tang Wei, someone who rarely speaks publicly about controversies, the entire industry stops and listens. But who was she defending? Why now? And what exactly does she mean by opening a new path? The answer leads us straight to Wang Yibo, an artist the world thinks it already knows, but clearly doesn't. Stay with me, what you're about to hear may change how you see him completely. Tang Wei's decision to speak up matters because she is not a person who trades in noise. In an industry where public statements are often timed, curated, and shaped by teams, her voice carries a different weight. It suggests conviction rather than convenience. She has spent years being watched through a distorted lens herself, where the public often prefers a simplified story to a complex human being. That history gives her a certain sensitivity to unfair judgment, especially when it is dressed up as opinion, but behaves like a verdict. Her appearance in The Mermaid is part of that context. She does not choose roles for exposure. She chooses them for purpose. Even in a supporting part, she is known for bringing gravity and focus that can quietly steer a film's emotional center. On set, the crew described her scenes with Wang Yibo as a silent battle. Not conflict, but a meeting of two presences where neither relies on volume to be felt. That kind of acting partner only earns her respect if they bring truth to the frame. So when she later addressed the hostility around Wang Yibo, it was not a celebrity jumping into a fan argument. It was a senior artist recognizing something she believes is being ignored. The man being criticized is not a surface-level idol coasting on looks. He is someone working under pressure, learning in public, and being reduced to a label that no longer fits. Her defense, then, is not blind praise. It is a refusal to let lazy narratives define a younger colleague's worth. In essence, Tang Wei stepped forward because she saw a familiar injustice. She knows that once a stereotype sticks, it becomes a cage. Her message was an attempt to unlock that cage, not only for Wang Yibo, but as a quiet reminder that art cannot survive where prejudice replaces attention. There are stages in every public career where the person you are begins to outgrow the role people assign to you. Wang Yibo seems to be standing in that exact moment. For years, he has been packaged by the industry and interpreted by the public through the most convenient frame, the talented idol with a striking face. It is not a lie, but it is incomplete. And what makes this chapter compelling is that he is not arguing against the old frame with words. He is dissolving it with work. His choice to lean into docu-reality exploration is not a casual detour. It is a statement about identity. These programs are rarely forgiving. Nature does not flatter you. Cold does not care about your fandom. Physical exhaustion cannot be edited away without the audience noticing. By stepping into those environments, he is placing his reputation on something far less controllable than glamour. Capability, resilience, and willingness to be uncomfortable. This is why viewers began calling him Electronic Red Bull. The nickname is playful, but the emotion behind it is admiration. People are watching him learn quickly, fail without collapsing, adjust without complaining, and persist without performance. That is a different kind of charisma from the one a stage can provide. It is quieter, more grounded, and perhaps more dangerous to stereotypes because it is not built on image, it is built on evidence. What is striking is that he does not seem to seek hero moments. He shows up, he tries, he absorbs what the environment teaches him. There is humility in that. And in an entertainment culture that often rewards polish over progress, humility reads like a kind of courage. The new version of Wang Yibo is not replacing the old one. It is expanding it. He is becoming harder to summarize in one sentence, which is exactly what mature artistry looks like. So the audience response is not merely about novelty. It is about witnessing someone turn fame into a platform for growth rather than comfort. That shift is rare and people feel it. Every story about growth has a hinge, One moment where the viewer stops watching from a distance and begins to feel personally involved. In exploring new frontiers, that hinge was not the scale of the challenge, but the quiet dignity with which Wang Yibo met it. He did not approach difficulty as a dramatic spectacle. He approached it as something ordinary and necessary, the way real people do in life when cameras are not present. He struggles. He tries again. He waits, listens, recalibrates, and tries again. The sequence is almost unremarkable in structure, yet emotionally powerful because it refuses the usual entertainment shortcuts. There is no manufactured crisis, no loud soundtrack insisting you be impressed. Instead, there is time, the slow, honest time it takes for skill to form. Then comes the line, "I know I can do it. It's just a matter of time." On paper, it could sound like a motivational slogan. In context, it lands as a personal truth. It is not the confidence of someone pretending to be unshakable. It is the confidence of someone who has already accepted that progress may be hard, but is not impossible. That is why the moment resonated beyond fandom. It touches something universal, the quiet war between giving up and going on. Many viewers have lived inside that war. They recognize the feeling of being stuck, of being tired, of wondering whether effort will ever pay off. Watching someone hold steady in that uncertainty, without self-pity or posturing, can feel like a mirror and a hand on the shoulder at once. In that sense, the moment changed everything because it shifted the show's meaning. It ceased to be about what Wang Yibo can do, and became about what persistence looks like when it is not staged. Audiences did not just cheer for a celebrity completing a task. They felt invited to believe in time, effort, and their own unfinished journeys. One of the most disarming things Wang Yibo does in this program is admit that he is not fearless. There is a quiet cultural expectation that public figures should either appear perfect or at least pretend perfection is effortless. Most idols are trained to smooth out their rough edges. They learn to speak in safe certainty, to turn every weakness into a rehearsed charm point. Audiences are used to that dance. Many even expect it. So when Wang Yibo openly says he is a bit fussy about sleeping on the ground and would rather pitch a tent, the moment works on a deeper level than humor. It shows a man who does not need to protect a flawless image. He trusts that honesty is more valuable than performance. That trust is not naive. It is brave. Why? Because real vulnerability always comes with risk. The risk of being mocked, misunderstood, or reduced to the very stereotype you are trying to escape. Yet he shares it anyway, calmly, without apology. That kind of self-exposure reframes the meaning of strength. Strength here is not the absence of discomfort. It is the willingness to name it and still continue. Tang Wei's metaphor of hand-drip coffee captures this beautifully. A cup like that is not loud. It does not shout its richness. It reveals itself slowly, layer by layer. In the same way, the program allows Wang Yibo to be seen not in a single heroic frame, but across quiet human textures, preference, irritation, humor, fatigue, focus. Those textures make him relatable not because they are cute, but because they are true. For the audience, this creates a gentle emotional shift. The idol becomes a person. The person becomes a companion in struggle rather than a distant symbol. And that is why the weakness feels strong. It invites viewers to consider their own rough edges with less shame. If someone admired can admit discomfort without losing dignity, perhaps we can too. That is not just entertainment. It is emotional permission. What makes this story bigger than one celebrity is the path it quietly suggests for an entire industry. Entertainment has long separated its stars into rigid categories, each with unspoken rules. Idols are expected to be polished and pleasing. Actors are expected to be serious and restrained. Documentary hosts are expected to be credible but not glamorous. Crossing those borders often comes with suspicion. The system prefers predictability. Wang Yibo's recent work unsettles that preference. By thriving in a docu-reality space that values stamina, learning, and emotional openness, he is proving that idols can carry depth without losing appeal, that beauty and capability can coexist without contradiction. More importantly, he is showing the market that audiences do not only want fantasy. They also want truth, the kind that comes from watching a person meet the world as it is, not as a set designed for comfort. The success of exploring new frontiers signals a cultural appetite. People are drawn to stories where effort is visible and growth is earned in real time. The high ratings and awards are not just trophies. They are evidence that this format has emotional power and commercial value. In other words, a new lane is not only artistically possible, it is financially viable. That changes decisions in boardrooms, casting rooms, and content studios. Tang Wei's defense sits within that shift. She is not merely praising a younger star. She is endorsing a more expansive idea of what a young artist can be. Her words legitimize the move, telling both the public and the industry, don't punish someone for evolving beyond your expectations. Let them build new standards. If this path holds, it could widen the creative horizon for many performers who feel trapped by their assigned identities. It suggests that the future of stardom may be less about maintaining an image and more about living a story people can witness honestly. That is why the moment feels historic. It is not a rebellion with banners. It is a quiet rewriting of the rules. At its core, Tang Wei's message is not love him. It is see him. That distinction matters. She is not asking the public to become devoted fans, nor is she declaring Wang Yibo above criticism. Instead, she is asking for something rarer in celebrity culture: fairness. Fairness means refusing to stop at the easiest story, refusing to treat a person as a frozen headline, refusing to call someone shallow simply because you have not looked long enough to notice depth. Her frustration is aimed at that laziness, the kind of judgment that does not bother to watch the work but still feels entitled to define the worker. There is also a protective instinct in her tone, but not the exaggerated protection of fandom. It is the protection of an elder artist who recognizes labor when she sees it. She notices how Wang Yibo carries pressure without turning it into spectacle. She notices how he respects colleagues. She notices how quickly he learns and how quietly he persists. Those are professional virtues that older generations value, and she is signaling that they deserve public recognition. Most importantly, her words carry a humane reminder. People grow. The version of someone you met 3 years ago is not the version you are watching today. To keep insisting they are the same is to deny their humanity. That denial is what she is pushing back against. So the heart of her message becomes almost philosophical. It suggests that our role as viewers is not to worship or destroy, but to witness responsibly, to appreciate work where it exists, to question without cruelty, and to allow artists the dignity of change. In a world that often rewards noise, her defense is quiet. But quiet does not mean small, can mean rooted, can mean true. And that is why, long after the headline fades, what remains is the feeling that she was not only defending Wang Yibo, she was defending the principle that effort deserves honest eyes.